Throughout human history, there have been numerous technological disruptions that have altered the direction of human evolution, beginning with the discovery of the wheel and continuing through the development of agriculture, the printing press, and the internet. These breakthroughs have fundamentally altered how we live, work, and communicate. And today, a fresh disturbance has emerged. Some prefer to minimize it. The AI revolution is feared by some, but one thing is certain: it will affect every aspect of our lives. Welcome to the opulent. Therefore, to further comprehend why we believe a technological disruption is imminent, we must examine what all previous technological disruptions had in common. Because once patterns are recognized, things become much more complex. It all started when people figured out how to harvest the land more efficiently in order to produce more food. This eliminated the daily need for hunters to risk their lives and offered a steady flow of resources for the masses. This is how civilizations started. It continued with the advent of the wheel, which facilitated the transportation of more commodities and people. The invention of the printing press in the 15th century made it easier for more individuals to gain access to knowledge. The Industrial Revolution enabled us to make more things easier, and this trend continues with each new technological advancement. Do you recognize the pattern? Every time we accomplish significantly more using way, a disruption happens. Now let's take a closer look at one of these in particular, one that is closely tied to what we're seeing right now: the printing press. Prior to the introduction of the printing press, access to knowledge and information was drastically different. Books were considered a luxury item and were extremely expensive to manufacture. Scribes, monks, and other literate individuals frequently copied them by hand, typically within a church. As a result, books were scarce and only accessible to the wealthy and elite on behalf of the common populace. Oral transmission of information and memorization were the major means of sustaining cultural practices. This explains why bards were so popular in the past. They were highly acclaimed for their capacity to recall and recite myths, stories, and epic tales. In addition, the scarcity of printed books confined the diffusion of information to those who could access it, mostly the wealthy and the privileged. This resulted in an information gap between the ruling class and the common people, who lacked access to vital knowledge due to a lack of written materials and limited access to education. Those who had access to literature had a substantial advantage over those who did not, resulting in a societal gap. Commoners were frequently illiterate, which made them more susceptible to manipulation and abuse. Mid-15th century, when the printing press was invented, everything changed. It transformed the production of books, making them more accessible and affordable to the public. It is now possible to produce books more rapidly, affordably, and precisely. Information was suddenly no longer restricted to the elite. Access to the same level of information is now available to everyone with minimal or no entrance barriers. The printing press contributed significantly to the democratization of knowledge. It gave everyone equal access to knowledge, regardless of background, family status, or amount of access. The search of knowledge and comprehension of the world was no longer restricted, which brings us to the topic for today. Currently, we are experiencing a democratization of ability. Now, before we explain what we mean by this, let's briefly examine how AI functions, whether we're discussing Chat, GPT, or other models. These AI are essentially chatbots that comprehend and respond to normal language. If a programmer must develop code in a programming language to communicate with and assign jobs to a computer, with artificial intelligence, you can just tell it to do something and it will do it. We are confident that many of you have already interacted with ChatGPT and other AI models and observed them in action. Since the printing press provided everyone equal access to knowledge, AI enables everyone to express their creativity and imagination without the need for technical expertise. Consider it like this. Practically every job requires a certain amount of Google searching, to the point where proficiency with Google has become a genuine skill. Have you ever witnessed your father conducting a Google search? Yeah. Do you understand what we're discussing? To figure out our own stuff, we rely on the accumulated expertise of others. This is why internet forums and resources exist. It's only a matter of how well you're able to find what you're looking for. But AI improves the Google search skills of those who are terrible at it. We truly believe that the phrase Google it will become archaic in the near future, and we are not the only ones who believe this. Google concurs, as a world without Google search would result in Google's insolvency. 81% of Google's revenue comes from advertisements. They recognize that AI is the cause of Google's demise and are devoting significant resources to avert it. They are aware that they cannot beat the AI, so they have created their own version of the game. They have thus far failed badly due to their haste and panic. Thus, for the first time, even your grandfather may now search for reliable information using AI, which is a huge deal. In the grand scheme of things, the ability to search for useful information is no longer all that crucial, similar to the impact of the printing press on the accessibility of knowledge. You no longer need internet expertise to find what you're looking for. And secondly, we mention not need technology, as the world around you operates on code and graphics. They are the foundation of how we engage with one another every day. The issue is that few individuals have learned how to write code or pixels. Some lack the opportunity, while others lack the means. But contrary to common assumption, relatively few people have the ability to communicate with a computer. As of 2020, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics estimated that there were roughly 1.5 million computer programmers employed in the United States. This represents less than 1% of the overall population of the United States. Do you truly believe that this 1% represents the most innovative and inventive minds capable of programming? No, obviously not. There are a great number of problem-solving experts who never learned the skill. Using technology is where the democratization of ability comes into play the most. There are so many individuals who could try out their idea. Perhaps they wish to create a cool website. Perhaps they have a fantastic idea for an application or a game. Nonetheless, these things, if done properly, continue to have substantial entry hurdles in terms of expertise and imagine a world where you can ask an AI to implement your website concept. In actuality, there is no need to even envision it. You may search for it on YouTube. Individuals have begun constructing astounding websites from scratch utilizing AI without any prior coding experience. It won't be long before you're able to create apps and games with a fraction of the resources you once did. This is the genuine democratization of skill, and it is in this area that AI will alter the future of labor. Remember, we're still on version 1. And it's already being significantly nerd since it proven to be too powerful. Imagine the potential once this has been refined. This is not about putting programmers and other individuals out of work. It is about providing equal opportunities and resources to everyone and allowing the most creative and innovative individuals to prevail. Chatbots like ChatGPT are already having a huge impact on the future of employment, from customer service to data analysis and creative writing, and most likely in the near future, music production as well. Some anxiety. As certain jobs are replaced by machines, the rising usage of artificial intelligence and automation will result in employment loss and economic inequality. There are reasonable concerns, but it's essential to realize that the age of artificial intelligence has arrived and is here to stay. The only remaining task is to ensure that everyone has equal access and can profit from it. In the end, we observe the same pattern as with earlier disruptive technologies, doing significantly more with significantly less. It provides everyone with access to knowledge and skill, leveling the playing field. It is now up to you to determine what to do with it. We hope that you get something of value today, Luxer. Have you ever utilized AI? And if so, for what purpose? Let us know in the comments, and let's begin a dialogue. We're excited to hear what you think about this and appreciate you reading to the finish. There's a bonus for you. Some of you have inquired as to whether or not we have utilized AI in the past. The answer is affirmative. We have always favored the use of technology and tools for data analysis and drawing informed judgments. AI expedites our ability to reach these decisions. Contrary to popular opinion, I am 100% human, however. If you like the video, subscribe our channel Luxe Mindset and click the bell icon.